Good evening, one and all. Welcome to your very special edition of the R&R Revelation Show. I am Rob. I am joined by Mr. Rhys David Evans. How the devil are you, my friend?
Gutted, really. Our guest pulled out this morning due to the family emergency, so I hope everything's right there. Bit gutted, I'm going to guest now tonight.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, family comes first at the end of the day. It is a bit of, it is very disappointing, but it's one of those things, unfortunately. And we will reschedule. We will go again in the new year with a guest. So nothing to worry about there. Guys, girls, get your questions, comments in. I'm led to believe this is an open members only show. So for those of you who have not yet joined, this is a little sneak peek into where your hard-earned money would go to should you decide to become a member. And our job is to make it look like it's worth it for you. No, jokes aside. Like member show, for those of you who aren't already members, have never seen member shows before. Yes, this is a Cardiff City based channel. However, member show is a bit of a free reign. Talk about whatever you want. Get your questions, comments in. Literally doesn't matter. We can discuss everything. Of course, we'll talk a little bit about Cardiff along the way, and we always do. But it's your show at the end of the day to discuss whatever the hell you want to talk about, to be honest. And Rhys and I will debate whether it's worth actually putting up on screen. So, I'm joking. But without further ado, we may as well start with Cardiff. Obviously, I didn't get to watch it. I got to see very little of it last night. I'll explain to people who wasn't aware a little bit later on why. You were obviously at the game yesterday. So I think there's two-parter really here. One is, how do you find it? And two is, what next for the youngsters, I suppose?
Disappointed really with the lineup. I said there's going to be the majority of the players who played against Arsenal, and it wasn't. There was a lot of first. I think it was Joel, Kellerman, Dylan Lawler, Osho, a couple of first team players all are watching. First team players playing, and then there was some of the youngsters who were involved with the first team more, and so not the ones that played against the Arsenal. I felt when they all sort of went off and more of the actual youngsters came on, they played a bit more freedom. They looked a bit more threatening going forward. They actually did more with the ball. They worked harder. I think one or two of them, it's a mistake we didn't send them out alone in the summer. I was disappointed with one or two. I thought Mafiko was outstanding last night, mind. I thought Mafiko, yet again, he looks like he can run a game. I thought he was brilliant. I just think disappointed with one or two performances, and I just think in January now we really need to push some of these out on loan and get some first team football in men's football.
Yeah. Is there any that stood out for you that you think, maybe you don't want to name names, but screw it, why not, that you think need that first team football now, men's competitive first team football?
There's two really, and I think they both disappointed me a bit last night. Louis Giles a bit, and Nayakawa. I thought both looked way off the pace of it. They struggled, and again they played against regular men last night, so they were being bullied a bit more. I just thought Parfit looks a bit stronger at left back. I think he looks a bit ahead of Louis Giles from what we've seen so far. Nayakawa, a bit disappointed him last night. I don't think he had much impact on the game. But then again, a few of the senior pros, like I thought Kellerman's first touch let him down a few times last night. So Osho looked like he was struggling a bit. I thought he played okay, but he was holding his groin. He kept checking his groin, and he was holding his leg. Then he went out injured. So he was struggling with a few knocks up, like. Yeah, I think Louis Giles and Nayakawa need to go on loan now, get some game time somewhere. They've got to start playing first team football somewhere.
I think it says a lot, and Louis Giles in particular, the fact that we don't really have an out-and-out cover for left back, and he's not really featured in the first team squad much, has he, this season, as Louis Giles. And we've all mentioned about Joe Bagan, the amount of minutes he's covered, and I think that speaks volumes for me, that he doesn't think he's quite ready. There's definitely a player there, I got no doubt about it. Louis Giles is a talent, and I definitely think that he is one that has got a great future ahead of him. But yeah, I mean, spend the second half of the season on loan League Two, even National League, potentially playing against full-grown men, playing men's football, and just to get him up to speed, up to scratch, and bulk up a bit.
Yeah, I just think you've got to put a clause in there where these players have got to play in like 80% of all the games, or the clubs pay a fee or fine, because they're going to struggle with it. I mean, look at Tana, for example. Where did he go? He went to non-league on loan, didn't he? I think it was York or somewhere, or Bromley.
Yeah.
He couldn't get minutes there. He comes back to Cardiff. He plays regularly. Sometimes it's a match like, so you play, and if not, you don't. I just think playing for the under-21s and 23s all the time is good, don't get me wrong, but playing against men is where the development is. We've had guests on who said the same thing. The jump and the step up is so big that if you just stay in the same level all the time, you're not going to progress, really. You're going to hit the plateau. So I think they do need to go out on loan, get some first team minutes. The problem with Nayakawa, I do feel should have got loan in the summer, simply because we had, at the time, we had a fit Tana, Isaac Davis, Cian Ashford, Chris Willock, Callum Robson can play out wide if needed. And I think the club are probably looking to bring someone in anyway. And then I just think, that was the chance for him to go get some minutes somewhere. You could have given him a 6-month loan, like Kellerman's come to us for 6 months. Get some minutes in, and if it's not going well enough, we can recall him and see what happens then. But this January now, I feel got to go on loan, I think.
Well, I think we've... excuse me, sorry. I think with Nayakawa, he had a good pre-season, though. And I think that they were expecting him to be more so knocking on that first team door. I mean, I definitely did. I've been touting his name for the last 18 months or so now. Massive fan of him. And but yeah, I think that he probably was in the manager's plans to be in and around that first team squad, especially with Tanner being injured. He probably was on standby, but obviously it's not quite developed yet. It's not worked out quite as maybe they anticipated. And yeah, I think it's got to be a loan in the summer. In January to, like I said earlier, a League Two, non-league team or whatever it may be, just to get him, rough him up a bit, get him rough and ready. Like what happened with Tanner. Joel Bagan, he had to learn the hard way, go to his loans, etc. And look where he is now. For pound, probably the best left back in the league.
Yeah, and it's hard to judge them on just last night as well, because again, I think a few of them struggled last night. I think the biggest thing last night for us was, we had a mixture. We had a few under-18s, a couple of under-23s, and a couple of first-team players. And because they're not used to playing with each other all the time, the under-23s probably know what their team is, the runs they're going to make. And then when you got under-18s who are not making the same runs because they don't play with each other often enough, it's hard to understand each other's game. So last night was like a mishmash of a mix-up of players. I think we struggled because Joel had the ball, and Joel was looking for runners, and there was not enough movement off the ball. Whereas the other 23s might have someone on the ball, but there they're probably standing where they're supposed to stand in the other 23s game.
So I'd argue with you there, Reece. not argue, but like, I question that. Shouldn't it be the case that the teams are playing exactly the same way throughout the team, like from top to bottom, from the seniors to the 18s or whatever, so that when it comes to a point when they are ready to step up, that, okay, it may not be at the end of 18s, you played in front of Josh Jones, for argument's sake, but then when you're ready to step up, you play in front of Kean Ashford, for argument's sake, or whatever. That it should be a parallel transformation between the two. That this, you're playing the same way. You should be having the same sort of runs. I know different personnels, different abilities, and things like that, but shouldn't it be a case that they should be all somewhat singing from the metaphoric hymn sheet and, being ready to step up as and when it's needed? Or am I just way off the mark on that?
No, I think the players, they do play the same style of play. I think when it comes to individuals, like Ruben looks at players out wide, Ruben does, when he gets the ball. He always looks at the wide players, get some width on the pitch, and that's how you... But at number 10, sorry, for the under-23s, he might look for the wide players. He might look to feed the striker through. Or the under-18, or, the under-18s, number 8, might be told, go forward, but operate in this area of space. He might be more comfortable there. So then, because you're used to seeing, I don't know, like Joe Wallace is probably used to seeing Ruben ahead of him, or Robbo dropping slightly deeper to pick the ball up. He's probably looking for them, and the under-23s, because they might dominate games a bit easier, they might not have to do them sort of things, where they're dropping a bit deeper, pick the ball up.
Very good point.
Or they have to go wider. So it's a tough one. I think last night, a lot of people say it's just a cup, but it's a winnable cup. And I think you've got to go to every game thinking we should win this. So I don't mind the youngsters playing. I just wish it was more of the youngsters that played against the Arsenal, like he said it would be. Because I felt last night there was a bit more others came in. I understand why Offshore came in. He needs minutes in the legs. I get that. Mafiko coming in, I thought he was brilliant. But you want to strike the balance right. I think, I don't know, it was a crazy 10 minutes in the second half, that cost us. It just seemed to be very sloppy goals he scored from, very easy goals we should have been cutting out. And we're disappointed with them. But again, it's a learning curve for some of them. I think BBM will have seen what he needs to see. And maybe he's probably thinking, if I have to call one with these up the first team, maybe we can go out and get... I need to replace someone to you or someone there, like.
So just going to jump to the comms real quick. I'm not sure if you're still in the chat, my friend, but welcome, mate. Fan from Mumbai, welcome. And Paul is very appropriately pointed out, although I will point out we are both on the left, according to Paul. What we got? I'm no wanting an Empire biscuit. I want a snowball. I don't get it.
No snowball, sorry, Martin.
I don't get it.
So the group chat's reference in there it is.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough. Apologies, mate. Robbie's looking at some teams last night. Some of the teams last night, like Wombles, were big, full of units. That's the thing, mate. That's the thing. Big units, like. But like, what was the average age? Like I said, apologies, I didn't really catch the game last night, so I'm not sure what the Dons lineup was like. Were they academy based, or did they have a few seniors in there, or was it a mix?
Seniors, I think one youngster made his professional debut last night for them. But again, we played against a team last night, right, which were senior lumpers and big lads who experienced this league. Our first team played them. Our first team take apart. They pass them off the pitch. They don't come close to close them down. The pressing is not as effective. I think they struggle. But because it's youngsters, I think the physicality shows more. And that also makes it stand out. And again, that Sasu boy, he scored 4 goals last night. I mean, 3 of them, I think you could easily say should not happen in the first team game. we'll close them down, we'll get the ball back better, we defend better. He doesn't score them in a league game, I don't think. So I do think it's a bit deceiving last night was, really.
Interesting. HCO, welcome, my friend. After last night, and based on recent form, I wouldn't be unhappy, beg your pardon, if we got shot of Osho in January. And why, oh why, didn't we play the team against Arsenal last night? Was there, I don't think it was a fixture clash or anything like that, which could have caused there, was there?
Our under 23s, I think our under 18s played in the morning, and most of the boys who played against Arsenal played that game instead.
There we are then. So,
but again, you're thinking they've earned the right to play against it. The manager said they're going to feature. They should play, really. I get why Mafiko gets game time now, because you do want to see what they can do. I understand that, but I just felt like they deserved the chance to go out and play again, like from Arsenal last night.
Yeah, because you've got to think when are they going to get the next chance to play in the seniors now? Because this was the competition. This was the competition that they would get the minutes in.
Yeah,
this was the competition, and I'm all for that. Let's focus on the league and all that, which is great. But realistically, the youngsters, they have got the depth to have gone far in that competition and let me get a trophy. Like,
well, that's the thing. It's the best chance to go to Wembley, and again, it's building momentum. You're winning games, you're building momentum. It's also one of those things, right, where I fully expect us to get promoted, right? I really do. But you can't, say, look, let's sacrifice these cup games and chase promotion. If you fail in promotion and you've sacrificed the cup games, then the whole season looks like a failure.
Yeah.
So you've got to get games serious. And again, I think we'd all have been happy last night if you played the same youngsters that played against Arsenal. And if they lost 5-1, you could come away and go, you know what? That's brilliant for the kids. They deserve, they played well. Unfortunately, they came against men and it's just a step too far for them. But again, when you see some of the first team regulars we've got the side playing as well, and some of the youngsters that are involved with the first team, and one or two performances weren't that great, you just kind of think, I don't know, maybe a missed opportunity there to play youngsters or go for it. Like,
yeah, and I think Grayson hit nail on the head, mate. Welcome, Graham, mate. I think it's right though. Like pound for pound, Cardiff still should have had enough to have done them over last night. Make no bones about it. This is no disrespect to Wimbledon. We'd have to have a catch up with the academy coach now after this, mate. I think, this is no disrespect to Wimbledon, but Cardiff still should have had enough to have beat them last night.
Same with the Newport game. Yeah, with the Newport game, I think we had 8 first team players involved in that game. But it's football. With these things happen. Saturday now we did it was Saturday now. It is all hands on deck for promotion now. So there's no FA Cup games to tire us out. We can't go to January saying, another FA Cup game, then a league game, then FA Cup. We'll have the FA Cup as well now. So it's one of those now where we'll have rest in between games. Let's focus on the league and smash it.
Oh, we still got to knock Chelsea out yet as well, mind.
Yeah, we have. That'll be the only way you can get to Wembley now is beating them because we're going to win the league. So there's no Wembley way for that.
Oh, mate, could you imagine if that actually happened? We beat Chelsea. What was I going to say? So yeah, we'll comments on Lawler. We won't talk too much more Cardiff because there's enough shows and stuff that we do about that anyway. Beat me as well, this is a patron show. Yeah, 100%, mate. I did see clips of him. Don Chesu. Is that how you say his name?
I know you're going to bother attempting. I'm awful at names.
I know, you can't even say, what was it? Oh, what was the name? What was his name? I can't even think what his name is. Oh, it's bugging me. Highwell.
I was drunk that night, mind. It was a member show.
You weren't.
It was a member show and I was drinking.
He said his name was Highwell.
Who well?
Huh?
Who well?
you butchered it. Let's just be honest. Let's talk all show. What's going on? I think I go back to what you said towards the start of the season, mate. It's a St. Paul's comment. I think I go back to what you said at the start of the season, mate. And is he better off as a 6? So he isn't. I don't think he's played there yet, has he, for Cardiff?
No.
This season. They haven't attempted it. Last night might have been a good chance to have tried it, potentially.
Yes.
Could have worked. And like Max says, there is a player there. There is quality in him. But like Lewis, our Luton friend, he very much pointed out to us that there is a mistake in him, and that's probably why this held him back from going to the very, very top. There's a player in him, mate. There's no doubt about it. But
it's a tough one, really, because he came into a side with Dylan Lawler, Will Fish, right? Our best defensive partnership, the best two centre-halves we got the club by far. And he had two, not to be nasty, he had 2 awful games. And it's hard to see. I'll tell you, is that playing on him still every game? Is he still overthinking everything, every mistake, everything? But last night, after 10, 15 minutes, he was on his groin. So I don't think he overstretched and pulled that, and he was struggling a bit. It's a tough one, but again, you're thinking, what?
Did he play the full game last night?
No, he went off half time. He did.
Yeah.
It's tough though, because you're thinking, where's he going to get his chance to even shine? Because let's be honest, Dylan Lawler has been brilliant for us in the league. Will Fish has been outstanding for us in the league. And when one of them two has to be rested, Chambers has stepped in, and to be fair, this year Chambers has stood up to the mark. He's come good. Yeah. So it's hard to see where Osho gets his chance. And if he is playing on his mind, it's going to make things worse because he's going to be overthinking it, and then he's not going to have the performance to justify him staying in the squad. It's a really tough one, Again, you could try him in the 6. I think Wintle's doing a great job there now. If you're 3-0 up in a game, you're 3-0 up like last Saturday, 10 minutes left of the clock, Wintle has run Wintle's run himself tired. I forgot. Well, it's not a members show properly, is it? But if he's a
members show, yeah.
If he's tired, he's 3-0 up. You can risk putting Osho in the 6 and to get minutes in his leg to get his confidence back up, and maybe having a defence behind him helps him out a bit more.
100%. That's not a bad shout. Not bad. I think 6 would be the option. I think Capaccio could be a future, potentially move forward in his career and be more of a right winger, to be honest, mate. I wouldn't be surprised. You look at, I'm not doing comparisons or anything like that. You look at how Gareth Bale started off as a left back by trade, gradually moved forward because of his ability to get forward, his ability of his passing and things like that. He still had defensive capabilities. Just because you're right back now at that age, don't mean that that's going to be your job for the rest of your career. So I wouldn't be surprised, if we're talking in 10 years' time, and Pacquiao's right winger potentially. Wouldn't be surprised.
Well, again, they all said about Bale today. It was that one summer he had off, and that summer he just bulked up. And he just became explosive, he did. It was just absolutely brilliant, he was. And to be fair, again, Capaccio could do it. He could have a summer out, build himself up a bit, get that sharpness in his legs, be explosive. Saturday, he changed the game when he came on, mind. Within a few minutes, he had the assist for Saleh.
Oh, he was good, mate.
What the ball.
It was incredible.
It's wild how right back has got more assists than everyone else in the team.
Yeah, and it was the game before, and I don't think he was that great for his standard, and he had 2 assists. Was it 2 assists he had the game before, wasn't it? I don't think it was his best game. but he ended up with 2 assists. Yeah, he's some boy, some talent, like some player. Let's have a look. What I'm going to do in a sec, I'm going to share with those who don't know already. I think, to be fair, most of you in the comms are aware of what I was doing last night, but those of you who are watching and haven't commented, I will share. Sorry, I can't read that one out. It's not PG enough. So I'll talk a little bit about what I was doing last night. I'm not sure if this is going to be, when it comes out, it's going to be for members only, or if it's going to go for everyone. So last night I had the privilege and honour of doing a pre-recorded show with Welsh broadcaster, Bryn Law. Massive fan of his. And I couldn't believe my luck when I reached out to him, and he replied. Quick turnaround. Was it within 2 or 3 days, mate? I messaged him, and we had yesterday booked. Obviously, disappointing. Obviously, it coincided with the Cardiff game, which is why we couldn't do it live. But after a few minutes of Wi-Fi issues for Bryn at the beginning, it was classmates. Like, literally, I know we've had some belters on and some lovely humans on already, and on the R&R Revelation show, mate. But dear God, mate, he's class. Like, such a lovely bloke. And so we talked about his career, how he got into broadcasting. I'll give you a little bit of a snippet for those of you. It'll be out next week, I imagine, when I'm away. But he literally wanted to become a broadcaster when he was like my kid's age, like 9-10 years of age, from listening to the radio and listening to Radio 2, I think he said it was, where live football was on. And from then he wanted to do it. Had a hell of a career, like, not just from a professional level, just literally throughout, from doing hospital radio shows to being on the off the cuff, ready to go to do comms at Wrexham games, and then getting a call to do Sky Sports. I can't believe he was involved in an accident as well prior to it. I didn't even know about that. I won't say any more than that, because you have to listen to it to find out. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the late great Gary Speed. I gotta be honest, nearly teared up on it, because you could still see how raw it was for him. And it was lush, though, because he spoke about how he met Gary in the first instance, how they become so close. He talked about Gary's dad, his family, and all that as well. And it was nice. It was beautifully said, and I highly recommend it. I know he's not obviously Cardiff-based guys, but I think most of us are aware of Bryn Law, and I highly recommend. I'm not just blowing my own trumpet because of the show I did, but I strongly recommend checking it out when it does get put out, because it's a lovely insight. It's a lovely interview. We did have some teething issues, like say, with the Wi-Fi at the start, but for him, was class. And the beauty of it is, towards the end, I posed a question about a part 2 to do it live, which he has kindly obliged. So come the new year, we will do a part 2 on it. And Reese will be doing it with me, I hope. So the R&R can be reunited for it. But I know a big shout to Final Boss as well, Aaron, for helping me out last night, because it was Yeah, it was class, mate. Really loved it, and I know you would too, mate. So I'm glad we got a part two. So hopefully you can be there for that one, mate.
Yeah, gutted I missed him. I watched seeing him growing up on Sky Sports News through all the games. So again, what a guest! Like fair play, absolute top guest. I can't wait to watch the episode. Honestly, I'm looking forward to this now.
Yeah, he's good. He was good, mate. And it was funny. We're talking about, like I said, I don't want to give too much away because there's some of the stories he said, but we're talking about the old school transfer deadline day. You know, when you weren't like now, like they are now, where they're protected. The reporters are in the ground itself, but obviously back then when he was doing it, they wasn't so protected. So he had some stories of that. Of course, he talks about the it wasn't him involved at the time, but the infamous two incidents with a certain player who travelled to a club and the certain object that was wailing in the background of another broadcast as well. So 100% made class. Right, what have we got? What comms have we got here, you beautiful people? We won't be on too long tonight, guys. Let's have a look. Don't lynch me. I don't have a Scooby-Doo who he is. It's no problem at all, mate. He's basically he's a Welsh reporter, broadcaster that used to do commentary for Sky Sports and the BBC. He's covered a lot of Welsh football, Welsh internationals and things like that. So, but yeah. What we got? Will we play Ajax next season? Doubt it. We're going to be switching and reversing. We get to say mind the gap. Let's have a look. Paul reworded it. Okay, I changed my words. I'm sure when he receives the ball, he seems to panic about his fans. Nice one, man. Let's have a look. Reese's home team are going down while CCFC are going up.
To be fair, he's half right. Coventry City Football Club are going up, looks of it. But my home team are going up as well, not going down, so...
I don't think Swansea are going to go up now, mate.
Oh, God. Can you imagine being that unlucky in life? You've got to support them.
Could you know what would be funny, right? After all these years of knowing you, after all the shows we've done together, like we'll do a live show one day, right? And all of a sudden, you just like unzip your jacket or whatever, and you go like a fucking Swansea top on.
Nothing worse. I know. Oh no!
What a proper heel turn that would be like.
I'd be sick. I'd be sick. I'd rather take a shit and clap my hands with it.
Can't swear
again, literally, one team for me, but one team for me. I tell you what, though, I've noticed they are trying to copy us a bit, didn't they? They're all about the way we play football. They have their own Reese's rants, all this stuff now, noticed.
Oh, Christ. What we got? Let's cheer up and talk about. Nope, cancelled. Sorry, great. With that. Yeah, that was a shovel of pool. That was.
What's that now?
Yeah, it's not for you, mate. You don't like the rugby, so.
All right.
I'll take that off the screen from you.
I have no idea what's happening in rugby, honestly. Honestly, the football's thing I follow.
Turner, was he that bad last night?
Yeah, I don't see he's that bad. I think some of the goals he conceded were pretty poor. Again, it might be an off night for him more. He's been so good so far. You can forgive a bad night.
Is that what you'd say? Maybe just a bit of an off night. No use to maybe the players he's playing in front of, which I think is key. Partnerships and all that. I mean, he knows. I I'd imagine he knows Dylan Lawler quite well, but could be a problem.
I just think last night was a bit of I think it's a few of them had poor games last night, and unfortunately, as a keeper, if I have a poor game, it stands up more. If that makes sense. Like I feel other players can go hide in, and you can just they can escape it. To be as a keeper, you can't. It's again, he's got a benefit from it. Honestly, he's got to learn from this. He's training every day with the best keeper in the league, so he'll come good. Honestly, he'll get better.
Could Turner can he do over loan?
I mean,
I don't think this year. I think next year.
I mean, look, if he goes on loan to League Two now, he plays every week, right? It'd be brilliant for him. Unfortunately, we got to back up at that point because I'll be funny. I do not trust Horvath coming back in January being number 2, and Jack looks like he's left and gone. It looks like, unfortunately, I really like Jack Alnwick. I really did. I don't know what's happened there, but he seems to be not in the club anymore. So we'll have no real backup keeper to Trot. What's that? No, nothing official.
It's been official.
But then it's like, if Horvath does come back in January, I would much rather have Turner on the bench than Horvath. So, from a selfish point of view, I'd keep Turner on the bench. But for his progress, he does need a loan, I think, to get regular first-team football week in, week out.
He's still technically listed as Cardiff.
Yeah, I don't know if something's happened. I don't know what's going on. I hope everything's okay with him. I really like Jack Alnwick. I really was a big supporter of him last year. And on most of the shows, I was always, picking him up and stuff. I thought he was a top good keeper. Played with a dreadful defence last year. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. I just don't want Horvath being on a backup to Trot. I do worry if he comes back in goals.
100%. You okay to go? Carry on for a second. I'm just going to shut the door. My kids a minute.
Yeah, go on.
Be 2 seconds.
I don't know how long it takes him. Yeah, the ground was empty last night, and it was a problem, I think. It's annoying because, again, if you're going to do that and play a lot of youngsters, like the Arsenal game, at that point, either offered me a pound for kids to go in and a £5 for adults, or offer for free and sell at as much stadium as you can. And it's a good chance to give tickets to schools and stuff for one game to try and get them hooked for the future. And I think the club has, yet again, the club missed a trick with that. It was poor. I think the away fans were sat with the home fans as well, which is a bit strange. I mean, none of them celebrated around us when they scored, but just disappointed with that. But yeah, the attendance wasn't the best. But then again, it's a trophy and no one. I think if you're looking for promotion, you're not taking the cup seriously, are you? So I understand why they didn't do that. What else we got? Game time's progress. I agree. I think Turner needs game time. But then at the minute, we've got to back up for a Trot. So unless we get someone in January, I can't see Turner leaving for loan. That's the only problem.
No, I think he'd be a loan in. I think it'd be a summer job for him. I don't think that he'll go until the summer. Potentially will go on loan then. But I suppose it depends on the Trot situation then. He may find himself as pushing for a number 1 place. Because I'd love to know if we got like first refusal on Trot, because his performances are only going to be pushing up his value and his audience. Let's be real. Yeah. So, I mean, or do you gamble if you're Cardiff? Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of the loan. Do you try and pull the trigger in January and make his loan permanent then?
Well, I'm just looking now, right? So Copenhagen are 4th in the league, right? Now, everyone knows January is always a bloated transfer window. Every club wants $1 million or 2 extra. Copenhagen might be looking to bring somebody in so they can spend. We might be able to get the deal done earlier. The same fee. It might be a case of, let's pay for it now. And they might go, all right, then we'll get the money now. We can invest that now ourselves. You might have to pay an extra £500,000 on top. We don't know how it's going to go. But it's worth it, I think, for Trot. I think we've seen he is a keeper you can have for the next 5 to 7 years, guaranteed. Number 1, a great investment.
I think so, mate. I 100% think so. I think if we've got the funds available, that is worth pulling the trigger on and get it done now. Because if and when Cardiff go up and Trot continues as he is, his stock is only going to rise, and there's a possibility that teams already in League One, teams maybe just come down from the Premier League, are going to be sniffing around and outbid us on it. So if I'm Cardiff, I'm trying to think savvy here. Let's try and get him at a lower price that we possibly can, unless there's an agreement in place already. We don't know. There could be like an agreement of if Cardiff was to get promoted, then you've got that set fee of, I don't know, 1.5 mil for argument's sake, whatever it may be. And that's done and dusted. There's no backsies on it, as it were. But we can't comment unless we know the ins and outs of the loan. If there's no stipulations and things like that involved in it, then pull the trigger. Like, literally pull the trigger on and get it done.
Yeah, so I believe it's an obligation to buy if you're promoted, right? But so say, how this usually works is, say now the fees 1.5 million, they can accept that offer from other clubs as well. Trot can say to us, no, I'm going to get more money elsewhere, I'm not going to come to you. This is why I think you should say, look, we agreed 1.5 million in the summer, let's get the deal done now then, early. Because like I said, they might be thinking, we can take this money now and invest in our own squad now in January. So I think you do speak to him in January early, I think you at least approach him about the subject, about get the deal done sooner than later.
I think so. I think so, mate. I think it's a must. And I think we'd be remiss if we was to not even think around the subject of it, just pull that trigger early, get it done if we can. I think it'd be a relief. On the players around him as well. Players who are going to be there next season, because they'll feel comfortable and content then. And I think that players like your Dylan Laws, your Rubens and things like that will be like, sounds so. There definitely is a future here. There's definitely a backing into where we're going with this. There's a plan. If you're nailing down a very, very, very good keeper who is definitely too good for League One, you're signing him permanently, then you're definitely thinking, okay, we've got a plan here. Let's hang fire and let's follow suit. Let's hang about and see where we go. Maybe I'm stupid and naive, even at my prime old age, but that's what I'd be thinking personally. But
again, if you're the club now, right, surely you're going, right, January time now, let's make a statement of intent that we plan to back the manager. We're going to sell the keeper once, first and foremost. Come March, then, when it's time to renew season ticket. March. Come May, then, when it's time to renew season ticket holders and stuff. You can say, we've already backed our keeper, the manager, in the January. We willing to back him this summer. This is exciting to be Cardiff fans. So it's... Oh, Jesus.
You really got him swearing then.
It's tough because I know some non-members show properly. I'd not been funny. I've spoken to a couple of Sheffield Wednesday fans. They'd said they'd rather take a point deduction and send him back to us early if they could. That's what one of them said to me. And again, it's not worked out. Not to be nasty to the guy, it's not worked out at all. And let's be honest, when you're going to play like Trot, you're going to see the standards that he has set. And you look at last season, you just think, it's not going to work out. It's best we both part ways. You find a new club and we'll just let you go move on.
Good luck with your future endeavours.
Yeah.
Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea reported on Man City, Man United, Tottenham and Newcastle. Looming at Lola.
That's good for us, that is. Because if the big clubs come knocking like that, they got the money. You could now slap an extra 5 to 8, maybe £10 million on top of the asking price.
It's no doubt about it. He's going to make his way eventually. I think I think we can all can agree with that.
Out of them, though, I mean, if say now you're advising Dylan Lawler now, out of them, personally, none of them look like the right move for him. One, he won't play for Pep, let's be honest. Pep is set in his ways that he will go out and spend
Newcastle for me, mate. Newcastle will be the one for me.
Out of them, probably. You know, Pep will go out and spend another 30 million on a centre half or 50 million. If Guardiola isn't working on properly or Stones isn't working on properly. Arsenal got Saliba and Gabriel. I know what they're both injured all the time. But then he's got other defenders stepping up. And I mean, Calafiori can play in the centre half if he has to. I can't see him getting game time there. Chelsea, with all the players they've got, you don't want to go into that kind of environment, let's be honest.
No. Look what happened to Ethan Ampadu. He got lost in the system there. And he's just trying to rebuild his career now.
Liverpool, again, they're going to want to spend big in the summer on a new defence.
And he won't be a marquee signing for them because they want to be signing, although he could do very well, he won't be a big name and he won't be playing because we all know that's what it's going to be like for Liverpool. So he won't be playing there. You know what it is? He'd probably walk in that team and could be captain, I imagine. He might have a chance. He might have a chance at United, but Tottenham, that's another one, maybe. But then they got Van der Ven, who's not, unless he's moving on, who's a very good centre half. Christian Romero, he ain't playing game time there. Newcastle's the one for me. It's a decent club. They'll love him there. He'll be loved. And I think he's good enough to, well, maybe not just yet, but he would potentially be good enough to start for him. It's
one of those now where you see so many British youngsters go abroad now and have such fantastic careers. God, I mean, can you imagine playing in Italy or in Holland or Germany? I think it'd suit them kind of the places even more. You'd stand out a lot more. I mean, remember Chris Smalling struggling at United in some regards, goes out to Italy, Roma. What a defender!
Look at Scott McTominay.
Yeah,
I know he's a midfielder. He was going nominated for a Ballon d'Or last year.
Lewis Ferguson was a blonde, fucking outstanding player. Again, I think Italian football is a bit different. It's more defensive. He'd suit that to a T. But again, it's a big jump to send someone young abroad. But again, if the money comes calling, it's hard to turn down. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's mad, isn't it? It's crazy. I hate it because we haven't had this for a long time with one of our own getting picked up for big money or scouted by big clubs, as it were. But it's inevitable, isn't it? And the reality is, mate, he's going to be the first of quite a few who's going to be touted, not necessarily going to leave, but touted over the next, given the academy we got, foreseeable. Both the Colwells, I think Joel in particular, he'd be looked at sooner rather than later. Obviously, Capaccio. Hell, I wouldn't even be surprised if Joel Bagan start getting looked at shortly. But the only thing we can ask for, mate, is that we get a good amount of money for him, a proper amount of money for him as well. In the future. Not peanuts, not having them go on a free then their contract runs down. We got to get the money and make sure it's reinvested well to keep the club going. Capaccio, 100%, mate. So we'll start wrapping him up here. We only planned to do about half hour, Reece, mate, but here we are yet again doing nearly an hour. Doing back-to-back shows again, as always I am. What do we have coming up? I can't think. What's on tomorrow? Do you know?
As you say, I'll tell you, actually, hang on 2 seconds.
Yeah, one moment, please. While Reece is looking that up,
Evan.
Evan, okay. No,
Evan
tomorrow. was going to say lost my trail of thought now. So those of you who are watching and tuning in for the first time, this is a brief insight into the member show. To be fair, our member shows that we do are slightly more unscripted, shall we say, and not off the cuff, but more random. It can be. We enjoy our member shows. You can talk about wherever you want, and just so happens we spent the last 52 minutes talking Cardiff, but it is your show. It's for you all, for you members, yeah. So if you haven't done so already, make sure to check us out, and you can become a member. I think there's a line going across the bottom most of the evening. For the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can become a member, get early access to live events, which I think we're going to be kicking back up again in January. Haven't spoken to Final Boss last night. Nobody's announced yet, but I think we're going to be having an exciting Q1 for the channel in terms of guests, so keep an eye on that. Lots of other shows and stuff coming up over the next few days, of course. Reese will be back on Saturday.
Nope.
You know this Saturday.
No, not this Saturday. I think it's Matt and Evan, if you want to say.
Sound, not me. Happy days. So Matt and Evan on Saturday for the post-match reaction. Obviously 12:30 kickoff, as people mentioned in the comms. I am off on my holidays next week. I am going to Lapland for a few days, so I will not be around. So lucky for you lot, you won't have to see my beautiful face for a few days. I'm not sure if I'll be on before that. I don't think so. But yeah, make sure to check us all out. Keep on subscribing, keep on sharing, keep on commenting. Anything else from you, Reese, before we wrap this little badger up?
Just to say that if you are watching and you're not a member, this is nothing like what the member shows are like. The member shows are a lot more random, off the cuff, free to say what you want. You're not restricted by YouTube's guidelines, so to say. And enjoy your holidays, but that's all.
Yeah, man, much appreciated. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be mad. I have never done a holiday in a cold place before in my life, and as lots of you probably know, I tend to I only put clothes on, like a jumper or a t-shirt on, just to do live streams with you guys. Do you know what? I made that joke with my missus, and that did not go down well. So clearly she needs to get a sense of humour for Christmas. Oh, Graham, man. You slay me, you do great. Oh, I feel like you're sick. That's disgusting.
Oh.
Right. Oh, God. See, this is more like the member show we know and love. Right. Thank you ever so much for tuning in on again. About the change in viewings with Keo. But yeah, he's obviously an emergency with his family, and we'll see him again in the new year. But yeah, good night from me, and good night from Reese. God bless, and goodbye, my friend.
This channel is powered by an incredible membership community on Cardiff City World and patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Becoming a member unlocks exclusive rewards from early access to live event tickets, bonus content, and even the occasional inside transfer scoop when we get it. But more importantly, it allows us to bring you top quality Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Across those 7 days, we're talking match previews, exclusive interviews, instant match reactions, the breakdown podcast, tactical deep dives, the spotlight series, Bluebirds Rewind, Academy Focus, and just so much more. Led by myself, backed by an army of passionate Cardiff City fans, this is content created by fans for fans. Balanced, professional, and 100% all about the club we all love. If you enjoy what we do, then join the community today and support what we are doing as we help to keep Cardiff City World flying high.